This very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him, very, very important.
Don't buy another pair of glasses until you've seen what this new invention can do. These self-adjustable glasses are taking the world by storm. They let you achieve a perfect 20/20 vision at any distance. Which means you won't have to visit your eye doctor ever again. They were created by an optician who dedicated his life to providing a solution for myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism. The story of John Mayer's discovery began 3 years ago. After thousands of eyeglass prescriptions, he noticed a trend. As people get older, they need to change their glasses.
Good evening. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon from here, depending on where you are watching from. Welcome to this broadcast today, 19th/20th of September 2022. This is live and direct on Voice of Biafra 97.5 FM, live and direct on Enter Biafra Channel 1, Channel 2, live and direct on Enter Biafra live streaming app, live and direct on Enter Biafra YouTube channel, and of course on all IPOB autopilot media platform around the globe. We are coming very late because a lot of people don't, I promised you people that we are going to be having our daily broadcast 7 p.m. Biafra time. Today is very exceptional because I'll be very busy and fixing some things, and this is now when I have the time. I'm going to make this broadcast to be very fast and as short, as quick as possible, because I promised Biafrans that I will be coming online at 7 p.m. every day. And in a very exceptional ground like this, I will come this late because I have to catch some sleep, and so I can be refined for the next task that I have. This evening, we are going to be responding to Soludo, and I believe some of you may have read the update from Barrister Ejiofor, where our leader is seriously, having very serious health issues. And we will not stop. We will continue to shout, and we will continue to put pressure, and the agitation will continue. Today, the Biafra people have actually responded very well in the civil disobedience as we continue to call for the unconditional release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Biafra people today have spoken again. And this evening, we are going to do something very exceptional. During this program, we are going to call on everybody watching the program to go to Twitter and let us see if we are going to increase the number of retweeted video from Imo State. There is a reason why we have to embark on this. We're going to do it almost every day until we reach to a very alarming number of retweets, so that we will save it for a day that is coming. I want you people to understand that Soludo job is to continue to carry out the campaign of calumny against Biafra people and against Ndi Igbo. Soludo have come to start profiling Igbo people. The profiling of Igbos as criminals must be condemned by everybody. It is not a matter of whether you are fighting for Biafra or not. But Soludo is going too far with the campaign of calumny against Biafra. Soludo to have come to start calling Ndi Igbo criminals is completely unacceptable. But this evening, we want to remind Soludo that he is bragging of having done something about insecurity in Anambra State. Soludo forgot that it was the autopilot IPOB that ended Mkpurumiri in Anambra. Soludo forgot that there is no program whatsoever that he has carried out to end Mkpurumiri, which Fulani planned to destroy Igbo youth and Biafra youth. Soludo should come and tell us, how did he end the Mkpurumiri outbreak? It was the autopilot. It was the autopilot that piloted the programs that ended the Mkpurumiri in Anambra State. I want to remind Soludo tonight, this is on record. It is on record that we gave orders to Biafrans how to treat the people that were bringing the Mkpurumiri into our land. Soludo did not set up any task force to fight Mkpurumiri. Have you all forgotten? It was because of the Mkpurumiri that made the insecurity in Anambra to be on a rising scale. It was the same autopilot that called the Igwe of Obosi. We called him by the name. We called the Igwe of Obosi out on the issue of some insecurities in that environment. It was after we called out the Igwe of Obosi that Soludo contacted him. And the Igwe of Obosi called all the men constituting nuisance and committing one crime or the other. He called all of them and gave them warning that going forward, whatever you do, his hand is not there again. The Igwe of Obosi called all the youth and warned them in his palace that if anybody commit crime again going forward, he is not part of it. What I'm saying now is the people in those areas know what I'm talking about. Soludo knows that it was because of our exposition, it was because we called out the Igwe of Obosi that made him to contact Igwe of Obosi, and they begin to swing into action. It was the autopilot. But I am talking about petty crimes. It was the autopilot IPOB that made it possible. I want to give background of what we are doing and how we mean well for the people of Biafra. That Soludo will come and be branding Biafras as criminals. I want to tell Soludo this evening, those he claimed to be criminals in the forest, those he claimed, he said that anybody that carries gun in the forest are criminal. Soludo, I want to ask you, did you ever put any security in place to fight and eradicate those that have been butchering our women and children in their farmland? Have you ever asked questions, condemn the attack all over Nigeria and those in Biafra land? Have you ever condemned the attack in Ebonyi State? Have you ever condemned the attack in Enugu State? Have you ever condemned the attack in your own Anambra State, where Fulani visited hostel, female hostel, butchered them? Have you ever condemned those attacks? Have you condemned the attack of Fulani destroying farmland, and when people challenge them, they bring out their machete and kill them in Anambra State? Have you condemned that? Do you know how those crimes ended? Do you know how the Fulani invasion ended in Anambra State? No, you don't know. It was the Eastern Security Network that did it. I want to make this broadcast for the record purpose. And I want to inform Soludo, if he come out to start bragging of how he ended criminality in Anambra State, let him tell us how he ended it. Soludo is the governor of Anambra State. He didn't know where the crimes are, where all this petty crime, where it is coming from. We are on ground more than him. We have intels more than Soludo. So forget all these things he is parading himself as a governor of Anambra State. If we want Anambra State to fall today, we are going to do it. But it is not our nature to do that. If we want entire Southeast to fall today, we are going to do it. But that is not our agenda. Our agenda is to eradicate criminality in our land. The reason why we formed the Eastern Security Network is to fight crimes. And we have succeeded in making sure that Fulani is no longer taking our women and our children. And we are not going to stop. So if Soludo have contrary view or contrary opinion from what I have said so far, he should come out and give us the record. I said we ended Mkpurumiri. Soludo have no single program how Mkpurumiri disappeared in Anambra State. It was the autopilot, continual announcement and ordering our youth to do something. They did it. Soludo have no program to end Mkpurumiri. Today, you no longer hear of Mkpurumiri, even though they may not have completely been eradicated in our land, but you no longer hear of them. It was autopilot that did it because we feel so threatened by the way the NDLEA allow a free passage of drugs into our land. So if we mean bad for our people, why should we be fighting against drugs? I am telling you now, record for what the autopilot IPOB have done in Anambra, to be precise. And everything I'm saying here is on record. All this petty crime stopped. Immediately, we called the Igwe of Obosi out. The crime rate have reduced. Everybody listened and watched that program. And personally, I knew what transpired immediately after that broadcast. And Soludo don't know what he did. Soludo don't know how he contacted the Igwe of Obosi. It was because of the exposition we made. And the Igwe of Obosi know how he swing into action, calling every male that has anything to do with, warning them that the governor have contacted him. And if anybody commit crime going forward, you are on your own. That was how the crime began to reduce. Some of you don't know all these things, but sometimes you know it is very important that we begin to tell these stories. So for Soludo to come out and start, because he is working with the criminals who sold Mazinam Bikano, and they told them that, they assured them that don't worry, Biafra is gone. And today we are here. The more you fight us, the more powerful we become. Soludo, you can't fight us and win. You are fighting a whole nation. You can't. The more you fight us, the more powerful we become. And if we get angry, we will make your government ungovernable until Biafra come. Every time Soludo open his mouth, he will start calling Biafrans criminals. This is what he has been doing from the beginning. He open mouth, he don't know how to address the public. We can challenge Soludo that Anambra State is part of Biafra. And if you continue to call us criminals, we are going to make your government ungovernable because it is part of Biafra we are agitating. Now, having laid background of how we have helped Soludo without him knowing it to fight criminality in Anambra State, Soludo still have the impetus to be calling us criminals. There are many instances that I don't need to mention here. But I want the world and Biafra people to know that the security, the peace that Soludo is bragging about enjoying in Anambra State today, autopilot did it. Because with the presence of Mkpurumiri, people go into many crimes. And we ended in Purumiri, which helped to curb many crimes and criminality in Anambra State. When this whole thing started, we also called Soludo to look into his political opponent. We made program about it. So I believe maybe he has done something about it. Maybe he have reached out to them. Biafrans are warning Soludo. This is going to be the last warning. Believe me, this is going to be the last warning. If Soludo continue to tag Ndi as criminals and tag Biafrans as criminals, profiling us, and you shake Yaya, and he knows that we can shake him. Forget all these things he's doing, all this nonsense statement. We will shake Soludo. We are in armed struggle to get our freedom. I want this video to go to Soludo. Let him send this video to everybody in the world. Let him send it to America. Let him send it to Europe. If he continue to profile us as criminals, we will have no option than to start the liberation of Biafra from him. I am now appealing to everybody in every leadership in Biafra land to warn Soludo to stop profiling Ndi Igbo as criminals. We have done well and mean well for Anambra. We have participated in making Soludo to succeed in security-wise, even while we distance ourselves from him. And I have given instances of what we did. I have given instances of how we succeeded in making Anambra what it is now. Soludo knows that ESN are in the forest and they have guns. So if ESN is in the forest and have gun, did you see anybody they kidnap? If anybody kidnap anybody, that person is not ESN. Deal with them. You don't come and generalize ESN as people that are kidnapping. Anambra State knows what is Anambra State this kidnapping started in Anambra State. It was Andy Uba that introduced kidnapping in Anambra State. It was your political opponent that introduced kidnapping business in Anambra State. And Uba kidnapped Chris Ngige, a sitting governor. You yourself, Soludo, reminded Andy Uba during the campaign that he was the one who brought criminality into Anambra State. During Peter Obi, as a governor of Anambra State, so many people, buildings were demolished for kidnapping. In Ozobolo, that was a very popular kidnapper then. His houses and everything, mansion, was demolished by Peter Obi. A lot of them. This is history. Kidnapping has been in Anambra State for a very long time. It didn't start today. So why do you now call Biafrans and Ndi Igbo criminals? Why do you now call ESN criminals? ESN don't engage in criminality. And is it Orifite? Thank you. Orifite, thank you very much. In Orifite. Yes, a very popular kidnapper his house was demolished either by P2B or somebody. He used his house to do where he put the victims and all that. Evans, the kidnapper, started in Anambra State. So what is this man talking about? Calling ESN. Soludo is asking how ESN, how do they feed? ESN feed from the contribution of millions of Biafrans across the globe. We contribute money to feed ESN. And I'm telling you today that the feeding of the Eastern Security Network alone, as it stands now, even when they are not feeding the way they should feed, is about $50,000 a month. When they get steady food, it costs autopilot $50,000 every month. So if Soludo is wondering, where do they get money to eat? Or how did they? So it is because of how did they eat that you now begin to profile them as criminals. We raise money to feed them. The reason you see us every month raising money is to feed the ESN. And these idiots, they are now enjoying security. They are now enjoying Anambra, enjoying Abia, enjoying everywhere. You don't know that a governor like you, who was sworn in like you, is spending entire money they have to set up their own security outfit to fight the same people that ESN are fighting. But when you send your own security, you send it to ESN. Thank you very much, C. Ugomba. Simon, you even told Soludo how to reabsorb the Agboros he stopped from collecting tax revenue in Anambra. Thank you very much. It was the idea of autopilot. We advised Soludo what to do so that insecurity will not increase. After he sacked all Agboros, what did he expect? They will go into criminality. It was the autopilot that advised this idiotic criminal Soludo, who is a criminal by nature. Everybody knows Soludo is a criminal. Soludo made money from Central Bank after liquidating all the money that was printed, the 2020 naira or 200 naira that was printed in those days. Soludo made money from there. We know the story. So Soludo is first-hand criminal. Is it because he did not carry gun while he was in the CBN? Soludo is the reason why Nigeria is wretched as it is now with their oil reserve. Soludo is the biggest criminal. He's one of the biggest criminals in Nigeria. Soludo should tell us how much was his salary and his earning as a central bank governor. How did he make his fortune? He made his fortune through criminality in Nigeria. While the more people will carry gun to kidnap and make money, Soludo use pen to steal Nigeria dry. While he was he can't. It is not even an allegation. This is a fact. So can Soludo come to say that what I am saying now is a lie? He cannot say that. He cannot deny it. Let him come to say that the information I'm passing to the public this night is a lie. that he did not steal the Nigerian money currency through the central bank while he was the central bank governor. I know the story very well. I have the file. Soludo shouldn't be the one to call anybody criminal because he don't have the moral justification to do that. He is the worst criminal of one of the criminals in Igbo land. He is not different from people who carry gun to kidnap for ransom. He is not different. Because there is no amount of kidnapping they will do that will even go close to what Soludo steal from Nigeria government. So who is he to come and start ranting just because you are a governor? If you continue to attack Biafrans and call us criminals, we are going to start the agitation from Anambra, from your state. Not even agitation, we already passed it. We are starting the liberation from Anambra. Let him come again to call us criminal. I am challenging Soludo from today to call us criminal again in any national broadcast. We will start the liberation of Biafra from Anambra. I said it, and I want this video to go to him. Any day Soludo come again and the profile on the Igbo as criminals, we will start the liberation of Biafra from Anambra. Go and mark today's date. I want you people to see how Soludo addressed Ndi Igbo.
Security. I mean, some of these things are still going to be, they won't be effectively utilized. Now, just a few days ago, a senator in Anambra State was attacked, the Senator Efeanyi Ubah. Who are these unknown gunmen? Have you identified them?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Let me make the point again. I repeated it. I said it before. Given where things were when we came, we're not saying that Anambra is 100% secured. Of course, there is no crime-free society anywhere in the world. Occasionally, you hear shootings in schools and so on in America or in malls and so on and so forth. And but everybody in Anambra, the 8.5 million residents of Anambra, can testify to you that insecurity in Anambra has come down to the barest minimum.
Who did it? Who did it? Who made the insecurity in Anambra to come down to the barest minimum? The autopilot, it is us that contributed to it. We are not saying that we did all of them, but we contributed to it. We ended Mkurumiri. We advised you to go to Obi of Obosi. You went and did something. We also advised you to look into the algorithms that you disengage from their job. Otherwise, you're going to create more insecurity in Anambra State. So how do you now turn around and call us and call Igbo criminals? How? How are you coming now to take glory? To take glory of insecurity is barest minimum. We are not, criminals, and we will never
going to be they won't be effectively utilized. Now, just a few days ago, a senator in Anambra
No matter what you're in the mood for, with the all-new Royal Crispy Chicken lineup at Burger King, you can't go wrong. Classic, cheesy, spicy, or tangy. Reward yourself with any of the all-new Royal Crispy Chicken sandwiches today, only at Burger King.
in Anambra State was attacked. If the senator Ekpa, who are these unknown gunmen? Have you identified them?
Yes, thank you very much. I thank you for that. Let me make the point again. I repeated it. I said it before. Given where things were when we came, we're not saying that Anambra is 100% secured. Of course, there is no crime-free society anywhere in the world. Occasionally, you hear shootings in schools and so on in America or in malls and so on and so forth. And but everybody in Anambra, the 8.5 million residents of Anambra, can testify to you that insecurity in Anambra has come down to the barest minimum.
Who did it? Who did it? Who made the insecurity in Anambra to come down to the barest minimum? The autopilot, it is us that contributed to it. We're not saying that we did all of them, but we contributed to it. We ended Mkurumiri. We advised you to go to Obi of Obosi. You went and you did something. We also advised you to look into the Agboros that you disengage from their job. Otherwise, you're going to create more insecurity in Anambra State. So how do you now turn around and call us and call Igbo criminals? How? How are you coming now to take glory? To take glory of insecurity is barest minimum. We are not criminals, and we will never engage in criminality. But if you kill us, we kill you. If you come to kill us, we kill you. And the reason why we carry gun is to defend our land, which you people have refused to do. Can Soludo now come to tell us whether they have ever arrested any Fulani? Fulani are on the road kidnapping people every day in military checkpoint. Or is Soludo not aware of that? Is Soludo not aware that they are kidnapping people on the road, even in Onitsha Road?